Hello, Insannies. This is me, Annie Letterman, with Ian Edwards. Do you like my name for my fans, Insannies?
Insannies. I mean, I'm sure they'll live up to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their dick pics have already shown me how insane they are. I did it as a joke years ago. I used to do like a fake vlog. I'd be like, hey, Insannies, it's me, Annie Letterman, here and on the set of blah, blah, blah. And then now it's become a reality. Yeah. What do you call your fans?
I don't call them anything.
Edtards?
I don't even know if I have fans.
Edtards?
I don't even have fans.
By the end of this podcast, we're going to come up with a name for your fans. And I would like some of Ian and my fans to come up with Ian fan names. Okay?
Yeah. What would you call yourselves?
What would you call yourselves? Yeah. Okay? Keep it clean. No jizz jokes, okay?
I mean, it's no fun in it if it's just all clean.
I know.
Let's just, mix it up.
Who are the clean comics are, you got to be really something special to be a great clean comic.
So you have to be special?
Yeah, they got to be really.
But you're also calculated because I'm going to do clean comedy. I'm doing this to make so much money that I can work everywhere. Mm-hmm. And, when you're that calculated, you might not be, you're kind of like a hardcore, just about it business person. You know what I mean? So there is an edge to somebody that's in Dockers and a button up. You know what I mean? To just be going for it like that.
Yeah, I just can't even. My brain just never. I was brought up in such a filthy household. My family's so inappropriate and disgusting. And
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Bragging.
It's called emotional incest. Is what I learned in my therapy terms. If your parents are talking about dicks and shit.
What does your therapist know?
And let's be real. I don't have a therapist. I don't pay for it. I listen to therapy podcasts.
Hilarious. Yeah, you're smart.
Yeah, I listen to therapy podcasts, and I therapize myself. Is that the word?
Yeah.
All right, Ian, you have a special that just came out. Mm-hmm. Mentally, how has that been for you? The whole process of it. How long did you know you got it?
Maybe summer of last year.
Okay. And
then I wanted to shoot it in November. We ended up shooting it a week after Thanksgiving, probably in December.
What?
So, yeah.
At least they didn't make you do it in February for Black History Month. So disrespectful.
Yeah, I wanted to get it over and done with before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Shot, you know what I mean?
When you got the special, did you already have all the jokes ready?
Yeah, because I was going to shoot one anyway. I was going to spend my money and do it. And then Burr hit me up with All Things Comedy and Alba Magical. And they said they have a 3 special deal. So
and you were one of the 3?
And they say, hey, you wanna be one? Now I'm like, let me think about this. I let them wait for let them stew in it for a minute. Yeah,
let me talk to my people.
Yeah,
okay.
Talk to my people. We called with your people on the phone. What do you need to talk about?
So you shot it in December, and then it took until very recently to come out.
Yeah.
Because the editing and everything.
Nah, not even that. Comedy Central wanted to put it out in December because Burr has Jessica Kirsten special and something that Brenton's in. What's the name of that thing you're in, Brenton?
I don't know if it has a name yet.
Right.
The Untitled, these are Bill Burr's friends.
Bill Burr, yeah. New people.
Yeah, so Comedy Central wanted to put that all out in December.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure if it's still coming out in December.
No, they're spreading it out.
They're spreading it out.
So are you Bill Burr Presents?
Yeah, Bill Burr Presents. Yeah.
And does he come out ahead before you and do something?
Yeah. He does something, yeah.
That's the best one you could possibly have because there's some of them where I'm like, why are you being presented by that person?
Right, and the person's not
there.
But
Burr is the one. He's the one you want. All right, so Ian's one of my favorite joke writers. I'm always attacking you to... I mean, you're so good. You got the math down.
You got the math down. You're calculating at a fast rate. You're in calculus right now.
I'm trying to be in calculus.
Comedy.
I only got to algebra 2 in high school.
You passed that in comedy right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, no bullshit.
My math teacher in high school, I went to a juvenile delinquent high school, so we called our teachers by their first names, thank God, because my math teacher in high school's name, he was gay. Flamboyantly out gay, and his name was David Zeman.
Actually,
I shouldn't say his full name. We'll edit this part out. His last name was Zeman,
Mm-hmm.
So luckily we had to call him by his first name and not Seaman. I mean, his name was obviously Seaman.
Right.
Can you imagine? You're gay and your last name's so close to Seaman, and you work at a juvenile delinquent high school.
Right.
Like, there wasn't one person that was going to make fun of him for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he grew up with that name and kids making fun of him. Then he's a teacher with irresponsible kids.
With the
They're
kids that made
definitely
fun of him.
Gonna, like, nobody ever stops making fun of your name.
And why do you
Thank
think...
God he was gay, so he didn't have any kids, so that they could get made fun of.
Yeah,
and
hopefully he has
traumatized.
no children,
Yeah.
and he ends the name.
Yeah,
He doesn't have any gabies.
yeah.
Is that okay to say, gaby? I think that's the technical term.
So as long as it says positively, you know.
It is a gaby. Who
Yeah.
doesn't love a gaby?
Yeah.
My friend has a nephew who is, I mean, he's so gay. It's the cutest. There's not one parent that would be upset about that. I mean, he is the cutest.
Oh, word.
He's jazz handsy and glitter. Like, he's just.
How old is he?
Now I think he's 6 or 7, but it's just been a wild ride.
So they
with this
know.
Kid. Oh,
It's been a wild ride for this
oh,
kid.
it's been so cute. It's gotten cuter. It's just like a little like onion peeling. It just gets dancier and dancier. He's so cute. It's so adorable. You're like, this has to come when you're born. Like, you don't learn this behavior.
Right. Definitely born with it.
They should do a study on, they take kids and they try to make them gay.
I know Christians, some religions try to make kids straight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those camps are really weird. I have a family member, I'm not going to mention which family member, who was a counselor at one of those camps.
Oh, for real? So he tried to convert the kid to straight?
And I was trying to explain to him why. First of all, I'm like, what's the criteria to get hired here? You obviously have some experience in this, but he counseled it, and I had to be like, this is bad. Like, you shouldn't do that.
Right.
I just think you should be teaching everyone to be as much themselves as possible.
As possible, yeah.
As comfortable with themselves as possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And then if you bring a bunch of kids to a camp who are not straight to tell them to be straight, and they're all around kids that aren't straight, what's the chance of it really working?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Now they're like, ooh,
I'm not
delicious, scrumptious little booties around here.
Exactly.
Puckered up for me.
Yeah, we'll just pretend in front of the teacher, and then after, so we can get out of class early and go do our thing.
And let's be real, all of the counselors have to be reformed gay people. Why would they be in this?
Yeah, because it's just like a drug counselor. Most drug counselors are ex-drug addicts.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Those who can't teach kids to not be gay.
Yeah.
Those who cannot do butts of their same sex. Teach. You know what I'm going for. You guys know what I'm trying to do. I went to, the same thing applied to my juvenile delinquent school. They put us all together. I wasn't that bad. I was just like maybe smoking cigarettes here and there. I was like 14.
At 5.
What's that? At 5. I mean, I was pretty cool. I was just dragging a carton of Newports around with me at all times. I always had, Newport Lights, but I always had a carton of Newport Lights. Such white trash. But you know, I wasn't that bad. I was just a little bit not watched, I think.
Right.
They just weren't really watching me, and the people that hung out.
Who determined you were bad?
My parents.
Your parents?
My parents sent me to this school.
Parents who you just described in the beginning. How do they have the right to determine that you're bad?
I think it was a
so
weird
funny.
time. Yeah, it is funny. I don't understand.
I don't know why I don't know why she's fucking this way.
Yeah, it's so weird. We let her out. Our dog just got let out. Like the dog we would let her out and she would run throughout the neighborhood, and then she would come back when she was hungry. And I always say that's how they raised me too. Right. It was like they had just like an Annie door, like go through the Annie door, come back when you're ready. But I was like a cute little kid, and grown-ups liked me. I don't know how to say it. They loved me. They really liked me. They thought I had a hot bod. But I was always either hanging out with like creepy, weird grown-ups or you know, the white trash kids in the neighborhood, because they were just the ones around.
Right.
And it was like thrilling and fun, and they gave me weird attention. But I remember one time I had a friend who was like extra crazy, and she lived in the most white trash area of our neighborhood. the Village, and she
The Village. Where'd you grow up again?
in the suburbs of Philadelphia.
So
But the
was it-
Village was right on the border of Northeast Philly.
Right.
So we would, sneak out and go into Northeast Philly. One time we met these guys at the Roosevelt Mall, which was a outdoor mall.
Mm-hmm.
My friend and I were 14. We'd lie and say we were 16. We were sexually active so young. I mean, it was so
Oh,
gross.
right.
My friend lost her virginity when she was 11 before she had her period.
Damn.
Isn't that
I mean,
crazy?
it's a safe way to lose your virginity.
Yeah, I know. She didn't get pregnant. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably the only reason she wasn't knocked up.
Yeah.
But we went to the Roosevelt Mall and we met these guys and we got their pager numbers.
Pager numbers.
And they, have I told this story already on here? Where we went into the pool. They picked us up. They picked us up from my friend's house. We snuck out and we went to this
How
pool.
old were these dudes?
Like 19, I think.
Damn, dudes.
19, 20. Then they took us to this house.
Mm-hmm.
We snuck out and brought our bikinis and went swimming. We went through the window and we went swimming at this house. And
An abandoned house or something? Or
no, it wasn't
their-
abandoned, but we just, I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about it. We just went through the window. I was like,
Right.
oh, someone forgot their key or whatever.
So they broke into a house.
Well, we didn't realize that
and
until we were
invited you-
leaving.
Yeah.
And but also we wouldn't have been, why were we so loud if we broke into this house? They had no fear of that.
I guess you just had to get in.
We were being loud in the backyard. We were smoking blunts and drinking 40s. And then I remember I just made out with my guy.
Mhm.
And then they dropped us off. And I was like, why are we going through the window? And we're like, oh, none of us live here. I was like, oh. And they dropped us off. And then later those guys came to pick us up again
Mm-hmm.
for another night. And I was staying at my friend's house. My other friend was very rich.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a door into her basement where she lived. So none of the parents would know.
Right.
So that's where I would sneak out from. And so these guys came to pick us up again. And they went to the wrong house.
Mm-hmm.
And they just walked into someone's house, and then
Oh,
they got
shit.
picked up for burglary. And it turns out that the
About
guy that
time.
I was making out with was wanted for homicide.
Get the fuck out of it. You picked the right one.
I was like 14. Like I almost died. My parents, by the way, my dad was the treasurer of University of Pennsylvania. Like we can't. I was from a nice neighborhood. They just weren't paying attention.
You know how
I
to
was like
pick 'em.
hitchhiking.
You
in
always knew
Elizabeth.
how to pick a Manny. You
I
always
did.
knew.
I've always only had the hottest,
Yeah.
coolest gang member boyfriend.
Yeah, your friend picked the one that wasn't, up for attempted murder. And
Yeah,
you-
she got the good one.
Yeah, you picked the
Or she got
murderer.
the bad one, the boring one. But then she wanted to go hook up with her boyfriend. There was this guy in her neighborhood that used to buy us beer. And he was in his 40s and had a kid and stuff. And she goes, you have to go make out with him so he'll buy us beer. And I was like 13 or 14. I had to make out with this fucking grown man
Yeah.
on his daughter's bed.
On his
It was so gross. But anyway, grown-ups liked me. And my whole point, what I'm getting back around to, was that we went when they sent me to the
that
juvenile
women
delinquent
are
school.
bad influences. That's what I'm getting from this. Jesus.
My friend was kind of an asshole.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, your friend.
Eventually, we got banned from each other.
Let's stop calling her a friend.
Well, her parents were the ones that said I was a bad influence. I'm like, I'm a Quaker. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But anyway, my parents sent me to this juvenile delinquent school, and then I became a young criminal because I was surrounded by all of these criminals. But if they had just sent me to a regular school, who knows? Actually,
They
who
sent you to
knows?
get formally trained as a criminal.
Yeah, they're like, can you make us some money?
She's an amateur criminal. Let's
out
send her
some
to
loot.
professional criminal school.
What was your high school like?
It was cool when I got there. The one in Uniondale, it was kind of like segregated, like by a nationality type thing, where like Jamaicans had our table in the lunchroom, and then there's the popular kids, and there's the cheerleaders, and then there's the football players, and then there's the rest of the Yankees, which were the Black Americans, and then there was the El Salvadorians.
You were in the
and
UK? Where were you?
This was in like when I got to New York, I was like 17. So in Uniondale.
Yeah.
So I just hung out at the Jamaican table, and we had like, you're kind of in a gang of Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Just because you're Jamaican and
Did you
everybody can
smoke
relate to
weed?
you. I never liked weed when I was in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Like the older dudes used to give it to me. I was like, this ain't doing nothing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like people smoking weed very young in Jamaica?
I mean, you could get it, but I just wasn't into it. Like when
Yeah.
I smoked it, nothing happened. I used to play soccer with these older dudes, and there's a house like across from the soccer field. Like in Jamaica, people start building a house and then stop for 5 years. So then there'll be the structure there with a roof, no windows, no electrical.
It's like
shit.
a gazebo.
So it's
Oh,
like-
look at this gazebo.
It's like it's like a free clubhouse gazebo. So then you could just hang out there when it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a free clubhouse until these people start building again.
Yeah.
So then we just hang out in there
That's cool.
and smoke weed. I was like, yeah.
Did you drink when you were a kid?
I stopped drinking when I was 7.
That's so funny.
It's real talk, baby.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's real.
That's the funniest shit I've ever.
It's real talk.
I just DM'd you about that. How I
Yeah,
read
oh,
it
yeah,
on
yeah.
your. I read it on your thing. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Because when I was a kid, when I was in England,
It's so funny as a joke, and it's so much funnier with this.
yeah, I mean, when I was a kid in England, we had alcohol in the house. I just used to drink that shit, and then at Christmas, for every day of Christmas, when I was a kid in England, we used to go to one relative's house for a party,
Yeah.
and I used to drink there.
Yeah.
And then there was one party, I got so lit, and I was like drinking, like, I don't know if it was rum punch or whatever it was, but I told them it was Pepsi. And all the adults are so drunk, they just like, all right, cool, because they're so drunk. But then when they got me home, I was like throwing up all over the place.
Oh my God, that's so. And you were 7.
I was like 7, yeah. And my mother was like frustrated.
You need to go to rehab.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, basically.
That's so funny. You were trying to hide some stuff, right?
was
You've
trying to
been
hide-
through a lot. You're like, I can't. These taxes, these bills,
These
I can't
taxes,
handle it.
yeah.
So wait, was your Christmas like with the England thing where you have the little shitty toys at the table? Do you know what I'm talking about? Those shitty little toys, and there's like a little crown, a paper crown you put on your head.
Mm-mm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm. No idea.
There's these little toys.
What movie did you watch?
You pop them up.
About England?
I just had some like British
like Christmas
friend-
like Christmas crackers
those
or something?
cracker things.
Oh yeah. Those are like those
The
little,
shittiest.
yeah.
They honestly, they
just
seem like
pop.
they're so shitty. They seem like Hanukkah presents.
Yeah, hilarious.
My
they do.
listen, I was from a very Jewish neighborhood. My friends' Hanukkah presents were so shitty compared to. I would be like, "That's
So
all you got."
are you Jewish or Christian?
No,
Like,
I was
what
brought
are you?
up. I was brought up Quaker, which is a form of Christianity. We celebrated Christmas and
So you're not Jewish at all?
when we did our 23andMe, I'm like 20%, some
20%?
sort of Jew,
Oh.
but not. My dad's dad was Jewish,
Mm-hmm.
but no one was.
Oh.
No one's Jew, but people think I'm Jew.
I thought you were. Like you said Quaker earlier. I just thought you was like bullshitting. How are you guys Quaker?
We just were. My mom started working at this Quaker school.
How white does your family want to be?
Well, you know that the Quakers. This is fun to tell you. I can't wait to
Jesus.
tell you. The
It's
Quakers love to tell you this. We
Original white trash.
We did the Underground Railroad, and we don't
Oh,
get
yeah?
credit for it unless we tell people. I'm like, nobody's ever said anything about
But
the
if you tell
Quakers being
people-
involved with the
If
Underground,
you tell
except my
people it
Quaker
looks
school.
bad still. He's still
But that's what's so funny. We called my bedroom the Underground Railroad, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in high school. But no, but it I only have heard it from Quakers in Quaker school. Like, I've never heard it from anyone else. I'm like, did the Quakers make this shit up, or they're like really trying to push? Like, we just want to say we're
push how
responsible
good
for
they
the
were.
Underground
That's
Railroad.
hilarious.
I've never heard it anywhere
Well,
else.
there's a Harriet Tubman movie that's about to drop.
There's
It's either
some fucking Quakers in
so
it.
there better be some Quakers in that motherfucker.
Goddamn Quakers.
There
in
better
that
be some
bitch.
people with some pancake hats letting some niggas stay at their house, or else.
I mean, in the basement. It's
Yeah,
kind of rude.
yeah.
Let them stay with you. Do you know anything about Quakerism?
Nah.
The church or anything? So it's okay. So every Sunday, instead of regular church, there's all these benches in a room, and you just sit in silence. And then if you feel moved to speak, like, people would quake because they felt God talking through them.
Oh.
And they would stand and they would speak. So if you feel God speaking through you, so you're just sitting there, and if you want to say something. So I stood up every Quaker meeting. I talk so fucking much. There was not one Quaker meeting I wasn't standing up at. I stood up, I would say,
It's
and
so
my brother
hilarious.
was like, you were so. My twin brother told me that I would stand up and just say some shit. He's like, you knew how to like milk them. I would always stand up and be like, oh, there's starving children in Somalia, and I just feel like you're such
So you've been doing stand up since you were a
Exactly.
Quaker.
And that's why I'm good with silence, when everyone just stares at me and blinks while I'm talking.
It's hilarious.
But then there's that's unprogrammed Quakerism, and then programmed Quakerism, they have like
Damn.
pastor and everything, and they believe in the Bible and that shit.
How long would you all sit in silence? Like, would there was a
It
time
seemed
limit?
like forever. We would do them at school on Wednesday, which was so hard.
So you went to a Quaker school?
Quaker school, and
I guess it is Philly.
Quaker,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania
Oh, yeah.
has. They have like the Philadelphia yearly meeting, but there's Quakers everywhere. There's Quakers down south, but they're usually programmed, so they're more like.
And then, so what's
Regular Christian.
so do y'all fuck with the Amish? The
No,
Quakers?
but people just, I
confuse
think
you
they're-
guys.
The only similarity is that they're like supposed to be more simple, or
Right.
but not. I mean, Amish people like don't have
So
electricity.
do you
and shit.
snob down on them, or do they snob down on you guys because
I
they're
don't
like?
think we're really connected. I think that I just used to always tell people that I had my like little joke line when I was a kid when people go, "Are you like the Amish?" And I'm like, "No, but we do churn butter on Fridays." Like that was my
Hilarious.
stupid my little joke. I've always had my little bits. My dad's like that, so I've always had my little bits.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, my dad never really went to meeting. It was just my mom liked it, and so we did it. It wasn't like my grandparents weren't Quaker or anything. And I'll go to Quaker meeting every once in a while. I cursed in Quaker meeting recently. I felt good. I was like, I'm fucking pissed.
They let you do that?
If
cool.
they're upset with you, if you're talking too much or something, they'll come over and they, like, because they're crazy people sometimes. They come over and they just stand powerfully next to you and kind of like ice you out until you sit down.
Damn.
But we're nonviolent. It'd be fun to throw a punch in that place and see what happens. Everyone's
That's
accepted. That's why
hilarious.
there's a lot of my elementary school was all lesbian teachers.
Oh, right.
One of my friends in 4th grade said to her, I remember I was there, I was at a sleepover, so she goes, "When I grow up, I want to be a lesbian." Like, we just didn't know.
She said that in the Quaker meeting?
Yeah, no, she just said it to her mom when we were leaving, her other
snap.
friends. Everyone had 2 moms. My art teacher was always fighting with my 4th grade aide because they were dating. They were like butch lesbians, like shaved heads and hairy legs. And I swear to God, they had Crocs, even though I think it was before Crocs. But they had like the Birkenstocks that looked like Crocs.
Somebody had to start it.
But one day, my twin brother was sick this day, so I was the only one there, which is so sad. My dad cries when I tell him
I
this
gotta
story.
always remember or grasp the fact that you have a twin brother.
It's weird.
You said that so many times before, and I just completely forget.
Well,
don't
thank
know
you for
why.
pointing out that I repeat myself a lot.
Nah.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
I just remember that you like. Oh shit! Yes, she does have a twin
It
brother.
is a weird
I gotta
thing.
see him.
I'll show you a picture of him. He looks a little bit, I think, like the cartoon Doug. Do you remember Doug?
Nah.
The cartoon from Nickelodeon? I'll show you him too.
All right.
I believe they look similar, but my brother he's a sports newscaster. And
Oh yeah, that guy.
He's a producer, but now he's getting on camera and stuff. Is really cool.
Oh, cool.
I mean, what are the chances that 2 twins get their dream jobs?
Two Quakers on film.
2 little Quakies.
You know what I'm saying?
On film. But okay, so Max was sick one day, and my 4th grade class was upstairs, up these stairs, like 2 flights of stairs in this weird creaky old building, and our teacher's aide Jennifer was watching the class that day because our teacher was out of town or was sick or something, and she was like, bold lesbian. We didn't say the D word. Everyone relax, okay? She had hairy legs. We all know it rhymes with bike. But anyway, so she was watching us, and she was white, but she put on Eyes on the Prize, the documentary.
That's a Martin Luther King, like, or civil rights documentary.
Yeah, it was civil rights, and it was something. I think we were watching a part about busing, and she started raging. Like, she's in charge of us, okay? So we're up there. There's like 13 kids in my class. We're watching this thing, and some moment of racism is shown on the thing.
The whole thing is moments of racism.
Right, but something that really triggers her, okay, as a white woman, a white queer woman, and she starts screaming. She's like, "Ah!" And keep in mind, she's the only one watching us. We're in 4th grade. She starts screaming and crying, okay? She's white. Screaming and crying. She can't believe the injustice. It's sweet, but it's a lot. And then she takes one of the desks that are connected to a chair. She lifts it up over her head. She throws it down 2 flights of stairs, screaming. We had to like go down and get the principal. Like, we need help. Like, this lady's crazy. I confirmed this years later when I was in college. I ran into a couple of my friends from that class. We were crying, laughing, like traumatizing. It was just so funny. It was like, keep your shit together.
Did she stay a teacher at the school?
Yeah. I think the people were moved by her upset. As they should be. Listen, it's good.
I mean, yeah, I'm not mad at it. Yeah,
It's
fuck
good.
it.
It's sweet, but it was
Yeah.
just. It was so.
I'm not gonna shit on her.
It was so funny, you crazy bitch.
It's a lot.
It was just so much. Ugh. Anyway, we have some topics, Brenton.
Yeah, I have some stuff that I found in the news.
All right, we have some topics we're gonna talk about.
Got
You
some
ready,
tea
Ian?
pics.
This was my favorite thing. I thought of you immediately when I saw this headline, and
right.
I had to read it to make sure it wasn't actually you. But the,
Don't say the D word, okay? That rhymes with bike.
No. But the headline was "Clown Starts Brawl on Cruise Ship." So there was a British cruise line over the weekend, and it was apparently no costumes allowed, and this guy snuck on a clown costume and started this huge brawl. So witnesses say that there was blood everywhere. Passengers were using furniture and plates as weapons. There were multiple people injured and cut, and everyone basically got sent to their room for the last day of the cruise.
Are people that much against costumes?
Yeah,
On
what's
this cruise,
why were there
paid
no
money? They just, I don't know. It's a weird thing where they didn't want costumes.
Are
on the
there a
cruise
lot
ship.
of costumes on cruises usually?
I've never been on a cruise ship.
That they
I've
have
been
a
on
ban
some.
against it,
Yeah.
like from the gate? Like I'd say no guns. I've never seen a no costume sign, like a costume with a slash,
Yeah.
red slash going across it.
I could have used
On
a
the cruise?
costume on the last cruise I went on because I bombed so hard. I would have loved to have a
Oh,
clown
right.
outfit on to not see everyone
To
at the
hide.
fucking buffet. You know how embarrassing it is to bomb on a cruise? I bombed and it was a heavy metal cruise. It was like cool.
Oh shit!
Like it wasn't like a regular like family cruise.
How
Like,
long ago
it
was that?
3 years ago.
Oh word.
But I am friends with Papa Roach now. No big deal. I don't want to brag, guys. I'm dear friends with Papa Roach. They're my best friends. They're probably listening. Do my theme song, Papa Roach. I know you guys are busy, but what about me? That reminds me. Do you remember the movie FX too, where they have like the clown fight scene?
Nah, but I remember FX.
The second one was.
What was FX one about? Maybe that'll get me back.
I think
into
it was
FX.
FX people. I'm assuming it was like.
So what happened in FX2, the fight?
Well, it was a clown, and the guy was able to maneuver the clown from a computer or something. It was from, I don't know if it was must have been early 90s when it came out.
Yeah,
Do you
I think I
remember there were
remember
two TV channels? There were so few TV channels. There were like
Right.
13 channels.
Mhm.
And then they would just play the same movies on
Over and
Saturdays.
over. Like Beastmaster would be on all the time.
Yeah, and Batteries Not Included I used to see all the time. Do you
Right.
remember that one?
Uh-huh.
And
Number 5 is Alive.
I didn't see that one. What about Kickboxer? I feel like was on.
Yeah.
But it was just, I would just see the repeats of the same movies. And I feel
Mhm.
like I saw FX2 1 million times. But I just remember that clown scene. But also, I really like the idea of using plates as weapons, just beheading people.
That's
Where you're
really-
like, shh.
Plates are probably more effective as a weapon than for eating food.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
do we have that?
Yeah,
Let me just eat out of the thing.
yeah.
Sometimes when I'm eating with utensils, I'm like, I feel like this is not how I was meant to do it. I feel like I'm supposed to
Is it
begin.
Like African style.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I see Michael Blackson, like you ever don't be on his Instagram, and like he's just eating, but which is how African people eat with their hands. It's like
They scoop
they
up.
scoop something in, they dip this in it, and they eat. But then sometimes like you're scooping from one thing into the other. It's not like you put everything on your plate. You're
Yeah.
scooping, so then everybody's like, and then
And then it's all in your mouth. And are
Yeah.
they licking fingers afterwards?
yeah,
Is that-
and then putting it back in.
See,
So then I'd have a problem with that.
it is dirty, but it seems kind of like right.
It's probably right, but I'm so westernized,
Yeah.
and I wasn't raised like that. I'm like, I'll just try to get my first,
Yeah.
get all my shit first, and then let everybody else eat.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, if I was being my true self,
Mm.
how disgusting. Like, if I had never been taught,
Mm-hmm.
like, my primal instincts.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think I'm a little bit, was raised ferally a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's very hard in relationships. Like, people have to be like, please close the bathroom
Mhm.
door.
Right.
Stuff like I wasn't taught, like,
You wasn't taught that.
boundaries and stuff like that. And
I think I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, sex is the only time we act probably like how we're supposed to act.
And that's if you're like comfortable with the person.
Yeah. Like, that's the only time, like, one of the few times, like, when your real animal instincts
Mm-hmm.
come out. Like, you you make animal sounds, you make animal like movements and gestures. You're in animal positions with your body, but you do a lot of shit that you wouldn't do. But it's always behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Not
Or
in
if you're
public,
fun and know how to party.
Yeah.
You at least have your friend in the bed next to you fucking someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to love that type of shit, like college, like, let's all bang in the same room. I don't know why that was.
That's hilarious.
I was always like, yay! Woo! Now I'm like, why would I do that? That's insane. But I was actually just talking to.
This is because you went to a good, red-blooded American college.
Yeah, well, my college went out of business, so that it does feel very Trumpy. It went out of business twice, and then it came back. It came back once, went out of business again. Then I don't know what their plans were for it, but then all of the barracks burned to the ground.
Oh, to get that insurance money.
I hope they got something.
Man, so that college did know what it was doing, because before I was going to be like, how are you going to be a college teaching kids about life when you went out of business? But then you came back into business and then accidentally burned the barracks down. You were actually
very good at business.
Good at business, like you won.
I think that, well, it's funny because they did have a business department. Like there are people that are still paying off their student loans from when they got a degree in business from a school that went out of business.
I'm not paying no student loan back to no school that
doesn't exist.
Yeah, fuck.
It's so fucked up, right?
Hell no.
Thank God I had a dead grandfather with money because
don't disrespect him and waste his money by paying off that like would you pay him back the money? No. So why would you pay that dead school back the money?
Listen, I went there for so many years. I think it was a full life cycle that I went there. 8 years I went to for my undergrad. But it was embezzlement, I think, by this one guy, one of the presidents. He started.
That's why you say you paid and he stole your money. Like, how do you know
robbed.
I didn't pay?
Yeah, I paid. Also, I always think about how people could go, if they wanted to, they could just say they went to that school. You could just say you went to the College of Santa Fe. I talked about one of the other episodes too. Like, you could just be like, oh, I have a degree in.
But I was just thinking, nobody checks anybody's degrees anymore. Like, when's the last time you heard somebody walk into their job that they're applying for with a degree? I think you could just say, I went here now. Like, who's checking? Maybe
real jobs. We don't really have.
I really don't know.
Let's be real. We have no clue what happens in the world.
But I gotta. If anybody calls in or you have real friends, like people, like, do you like go to a job and say I worked here?
Well, I had one of my brothers was up for a job and he didn't realize he
had another
graduated.
brother.
I got 2 brothers.
Wow, that's okay.
Doesn't it make sense why I'm like this? Yeah. I have no sisters. And my mom is she looks like Chaz Bono. Anyway, let's just say that. My mom's a Chaz. But so she looks like Austin Powers, actually. She has long hair now, but I did post a picture of her once and people were like, your mom looks exactly like Austin Powers. And I had to delete the comment because I was so upset that I didn't come up with it because she looks so much like him. She looks exactly like him in this one picture. But it's very so my brother, he was up for this job and he thought he had graduated, but he had an incomplete, and they checked on it, and then he had to go through this whole thing where
how long ago was this?
Oh, years ago, like 15 years ago, maybe.
I think back then they were checking, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm,
I feel like they have to check all that stuff because there's competitive, like a bunch of people are trying to get in.
I know back in the day you could get like a degree made in Thailand for some school that you didn't go to.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It really was such a waste of time. I just spent 8 years in undergrad. My mom wrote my papers. I never did shit in college.
Listen, you had sex in a room with your friends. That is never a waste of time, all right? How dare you?
I did have fun in college. Yeah. Did you go to college?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
New York Institute of Technology. It's in Westbury. Shit. Just sounds fancy.
What'd you learn?
Nothing.
What did you study?
No, you know what? I went there for biology. Then I switched like halfway through. I probably went there for 5 years, maybe 5.5. And then I learned script writing there. Like I switched to communication. So, writing scripts and TV and film, I learned that shit there.
Oh, I'm still waiting to learn that. Like, when am I going to learn how to write a fucking sit down and write? I've gone through so many reps that are like, can you just write a fucking script? I'm like, no, I'm waiting for my mom to write it for me.
But I completely stumbled upon something that I didn't go there for that,
Right.
but they had something
Yeah.
that I ended up using, as opposed to like knowing what I wanted and then going someplace just to learn that.
Yeah, that's a good lesson.
Which should have
too.
been faster.
Well, that's such a good lesson too. It's like, especially because you're so young when you go to college. How do you know what you're
Right.
gonna want to do?
They don't care. They just want our money.
I know.
Yeah. They know we don't know.
I was a
Only
psychology
10%
major?
of the
Come
people
on.
know. Yeah.
It's
Like
ridiculous.
we're training a crazy kid to be a hormonal crazy kid to be a psychology.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. And now I have my apps. I don't need any help.
Yeah, exactly.
I have my therapy apps, and I write to my inner child every day. I tried that on stage, though, where I was like, I've been writing to my inner child every day. I'm like, dear little Annie, I know you can't read this. And then everyone's staring at me, and I'm like, that's the end of the joke.
I know your illiterate ass can't read.
I know you're stupid little piece of shit.
This
Can't
grown
read
woman keeps sending me these letters. I can't read.
This is so creepy. Why
She
does
knows
someone-
She knows I'm little.
And a picture of her ass. That's so weird. I'm like, don't worry. One day your ass will look like this.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, don't kill yourself. You're
Don't
gonna have
go
an
yet.
amazing ass one
You're
day.
going to have a good ass. It'll carry you through.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about my ass, but she just told me that I should be.
Start those squats now, little girl. You could have a career as an Instagram model. I back to the clown thing. One time my best friend was living in Chicago and I was in Philly, and she was going around the world for a year. She was going to be traveling, and I was going to miss her and stuff, and I found this really cheap ticket to go visit her, and her friend was having a surprise party for her. So I kept telling her, oh, I'm not going to see you, I'm so depressed, and just kind of milking up that I wasn't going to see her. And then I had this flight, and her friend picked me up, and I really wanted to surprise her. She wanted these Philadelphia tasty cakes. They're just in Philly. I think maybe you can get them here now, but they're just like Little Debbie's, but from Philadelphia. And so she kept asking me for those, so I got her like a big box of them, and I wrapped them, and then I dressed as a full clown, and I was sitting in her friend's house when she walked in, just holding this present, and she was like, I mean, I'm so glad that she didn't have a heart attack or something. You really gotta like double check people aren't afraid of clowns. Luckily she wasn't. She was like, this is so creepy, who is that? I was in full makeup. And then I gave her the present, and she opened it, and she saw it was tasty cakes, and she was like, no. And then I like revealed myself.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a video of it somewhere. But it's like, how much attention do I need?
Which country were you in?
I was in
when you visited her?
Chicago.
Chicago.
She hadn't gone yet. The country of Chicago.
I thought you were in Europe or something.
No, it was just like $100 trip.
It's just,
It was nothing. That's so funny. I pay to like go on her vacation with her. I always try now. She's like, I'm gonna go to Ireland. I'm like, I want to come with you, and she's like, I'm good. I'm like, what?
She said, I'm good.
She's like, I'm good. I just want to go alone. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she's out there. She's like, we're not fucking in front of each other in the dorm anymore. I'm going.
Yeah,
to
she's like, if I
on my
fuck,
own.
I'm gonna fuck alone.
Yeah.
For sure. What else do we? Oh, you want to do the call? Are there any other topics that are pressing?
Oh, there's a few more if you want to talk.
Let's do
Jessica Alba and Steve-O both got their Twitters hacked.
I love it. Can you tell me what two of their tweets were? Because I feel like they could have Freaky Friday'd their tweets.
I
That
can,
would've been
but
funny.
I'm not comfortable saying half the stuff that was tweeted.
Well, what's funny is I
Let me
feel like
see.
if you just took what Steve-O said on his, put it on Jessica Alba's, and what Jessica Alba said on hers and put it on his, everyone would be like,
Oh.
what's going, this is crazy.
Yeah. So I'll pull up.
If it's the N word, I need you to say it and gaze into Ian's eyes.
Just say N-word.
Say the word
Say
and just
N-word.
look.
Biddlecombe.
Okay.
Listen, Ian's giving you permission.
I'm not going to say it, but I'll say the N-word without saying it.
Say it.
So yeah,
Let's
over
get
the
him in trouble. Let's
weekend-
cancel Brenton.
Don't. I'm not even on yet. Sorry, this is freezing up.
Even the computer doesn't want you to read it.
I know, the computer's like,
Computers
this is filthy.
It's more anti-N-word
Help me
than
out.
you are.
So her first tweet that went up was, police sirens in the distance again. When will the N-word stop committing crime so I can
my
get some fucking sleep?
Damn, where does she live?
Chicago.
It's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Paying $50,000 for anyone that can kill a handicapped faggot for me. DM's open.
But we
Damn.
just said faggot
Damn.
openly. I was reading it too.
So she
that
got
was,
hacked?
That was a taste of Jessica Alba. She probably had probably 10 or so tweets that went up before they realized and took them down.
How many retweets did they get before they got taken
A
down?
lot.
People must have been dying.
Yeah, this one, the
Say-
first one I read had, at the time, 895 retweets, and it could have been more. That was just when the screenshot was taken.
Do people believe that she was hacked? Or?
Yeah, that started trending almost immediately, and then Steve-O followed shortly after with a bunch of anti-Semitic
and with
stuff.
Steve-O, you're like, how do we know he was hacked? This is
Yeah,
Steve-O.
he's like, he does pranks.
It's pranks.
This could just be a prank.
Yeah.
I feel like Steve-O hacked hers too, just so he could get away with saying his.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Steve-O. This is the Twitter hack prank.
Yeah.
And just staples
He's like,
his
I'm
ass
tired
cheeks to his
of getting
balls.
physically hurt. Let me hurt my let me punch
Career.
my internet in the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Jessica Alba to know what it feels like to staple her ball sack to her thigh.
Yeah.
Emotionally and
Emotionally,
career-wise. All right, should we call our...
So today we're going to talk to Lynn, and you're going to help her out. She hasn't talked to her daughter in 6 years, and she wants your advice.
And her daughter's 7. That's the awkward part. She just quit drinking, her daughter.
Lynn is so irresponsible. She hasn't spoke to her daughter in 6 years, and she's going to ask Annie.
I
Who
know.
grew up in a
Oh my
delinquent,
God.
went to a delinquent school for
I'm
advice.
so
Great
scared to
move.
give this person advice.
Great move, Lynn.
Lynn, listen to nothing I say.
Yeah.
All right, we got to put our headphones on.
All right. Do I have any? Yeah, thanks.
Hello?
Hi, Lynn. This is Annie Letterman and Ian
Hi.
Edwards. How are you?
What up, Lynn?
I can hear you a little bit.
Hello?
You're cutting out a
Hey.
tiny bit.
Now is this better?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's better.
is. All right, Lynn, how are you doing today?
Hey, Annie?
It's a little hard to hear.
I can see why you haven't spoken to your daughter in
Yeah, maybe
so long.
she's been calling,
You
but
just
the
had a bad connection. How can you physically speak to her with this phone camera?
You're living, yeah, you need a tower near your house.
Yeah.
All right, so what's up? How old's your daughter?
She's 42.
Okay. And then the last time you spoke to her, you had a big fight?
Just a real brief synopsis. I was a single mother, and I spoiled the hell out of her. It was just her and me, no dad around. And I got hit by a drunk driver in 96, and she stuck around for 16 years to take care of me, but it turned violent, not me. I just took it and took it and took it, and one day I decided, when she gave me a letter that I had to change 51 things to be her mother, I decided, where did this train get derailed? And I said, let's take a year off and both get some healing, and I haven't heard from her since.
Have you reached out to her?
Thousands of times. Thousands. I don't know. She's blocked me on Facebook. From time to time, it's unblocked. But I have written. I have sent presents. I have asked the manager at the apartment if she could relay a message. I've asked mutual friends and relatives, and everybody's tried, and then they either get blocked or get no response. And I can see through other people's Facebook what she's up to, but, like, I'm left with the baggage that I did the best I could, but I spoiled her. I don't have her in my life. Who wants to lose their child? And I'm trying to make other people laugh, but I'm hurting so badly.
Yeah,
And
it sounds like
I'm,
you were in some
you know,
misery situation, too. She was abusing you while you were hurt? That sounds not great.
She was
Are you sure you want to get in contact with her?
Yeah, she sounds mean.
So you want to get in contact with her so you could spoil her some more? I mean,
Yeah, I know. But, like, it's my child.
Yeah.
And it's my only child. And I don't want to go back for abuse. I was hoping maybe, 6 months would go by and she'd go get some help, but evidently not. And it's so hard. I'm trying to help. I go to veterans hospitals, and I have a curriculum to take people in pain and help them work through their pain through comedy, because that's what's helped heal me. but I'm still left with the rubble, you know?
Well, this is
Depressing.
dark, girl. This is dark. All I could say is, I mean, you can't control her, right? Like, there's nothing you can do to control her. All you can do is control yourself and try to heal yourself as much as you can and hope that she comes back to you, right? There's nothing, you know, what?
Lynn, like the only thing I got. Lynn, have you done the best that you could do?
At the time.
To raise her,
I have to add,
to get in
at the
contact
time.
with her. So then that's all you can do. And that's your conscience right there. Like, if you've done everything you could, like when you were raising her, or any mistake that you've made, that you apologized and left the door open for her to come back in, then there's nothing you could do but wait. But if you didn't do all that, then you should feel bad. But if you like made the effort to fix things and to correct things, that's all you can do, to be honest.
And forgive her. I mean, it sounds like you're probably still very hurt. If you can forgive her, you know, it's people, especially if people have abused someone, that, you know, they're ashamed of what they've done too, and they want to turn it into it's easier to lash out than admit what you've done wrong a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
And it's scary to come back into a situation where you're going to want to, or you're going to have to be held accountable for something that you maybe don't have blocked out doing or don't want to admit that you did.
Yeah. And then there's so much money you save from not having to take care of your child. Go on some vacations and shit.
Yeah, hang out with yourself.
Yeah, spend it on yourself.
Are you in a relationship?
Learning in a relationship. What?
Are you in
I'm learning to be.
Yeah.
I'm learning to be in a relationship with myself.
Yeah, that's
Great.
right. Get a vibrator. Live that life, Lynn. You don't got to worry about your daughter walking in and you flicking the bean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard when you can't control other people. I mean, that's probably the hardest thing, and like having to let go of something.
Maybe that's the
especially-
lesson to learn, yeah.
Yeah.
To like, listen, you don't know if you're going to die today or live 100 more years. You just
I mean,
don't
if you
know.
think you're going to live 100 more years, you need some fucking help, Lynn.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true too.
You are going to be very disappointed.
Yeah. But, you know, just control the things you can control and enjoy your life from there, you know?
And I understand. I had a little time when I wasn't talking to my mom. I know how much that hurts. It does hurt to not be in contact with from that direction.
And I've never spoken to Annie's mom, and it hurts.
Yeah, I mean, that's so funny. I thought you fucked my mom. The only reason I had you
did.
on here is because I thought you banged my mom out.
We did. That's why we're not talking right now.
But do you do comedy, Lynn? Or you just do you do comedy, or you just bring comedy to the hospital?
I do comedy as well, and I teach it at Harvey's in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, so I think you just got to keep trying to find a way to laugh through the pain and heal yourself, and you got to let go. I mean, I'm not very religious or anything, but let go and let God. I mean, there's not really, you can't control her, and it seems the more you push, the more she pushes back and pushes away.
Pushes away, yeah.
You know, and hopefully you can get your life together and get yourself to a really happy place and positive place where you're living out of forgiveness and love for yourself, and then maybe you run into her at the grocery store or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe there's a time where she can...
I write jokes, and I go out, on a bad day, I'll say, I have to make 100 people laugh today or write 100 jokes, and I'll do it in one day. I drive people mashugana, and so it's kind of OCD at this point, and so... I wrote 82 jokes one day, and a 74-year-old comic here unfriended me because she missed her doctor's appointment.
Oh, that's so
Reading my
funny.
jokes.
Well, it sounds like you're figuring out... I honestly think that obsession with comedy is the only addiction that I am for. I think it saved my life. I quit drinking and went right into stand-up, and I do it obsessively and compulsively, and I think I'm 100% for that. I think that that's good, and I say keep going. OCD as hard as you can into writing jokes.
Yeah, enjoy your life.
Yeah, be happy. Be happy. Don't think about what you don't have all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Focus on that. I was thinking about that for myself last night. I'm always looking at the negative space in between positive things. Like, look at the love you do have. You know, look at the good stuff.
everything starts going good, don't you always find a way to bring yourself down?
Yeah, but that's a defense mechanism, and that's something that's coming from a very young Lynn. That's coming from when you were a kid, Lynn. That's something that happened to you when you were little, and you learned to do that to cope with it. And you're a grown-up now. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, and there's
live
apps.
the life.
There's apps for that. Tell her the apps, Annie.
Yeah, you can listen to. I listened to this therapy app called the Adult Chair. That's really good. It's this lady Michelle Chalfa. Michelle.
Okay. Adult Chair.
Yeah, the Adult Chair. Check it out. It's on iTunes, I think, and it's got a. She's really good, and she talks a lot about like how you can heal those wounds as a grown up, and yeah, I think you'll like it.
Yeah, live from today on. You know what I mean? The past is the past. Live from today on, and you'd be amazed what happens. Things turn around.
Yeah, it's gonna be good for you, Lynn. I feel good things. Thanks for.
It's kind of like 2 steps forward, 18 steps back. Okay, let me try again. You know.
Yeah, well, keep trying.
And it's like it's just hell to wake up every day.
I know when you wake up and it's like the pain in the morning, but you gotta listen. You gotta wake up and you have to train yourself to be positive. It's up to you. Nothing's gonna happen to save you. Even if your daughter comes back, you don't know that it's gonna be positive.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it could be negative. So you have to. It's up to you to control what you can control.
Yep.
And wake up in the morning and choose your happiness. And I sound like
no, you're right.
But it's you really have to. You have to.
Yeah, you make your life great. Yeah.
And you said you're how old are you?
68.
You don't. This is your time, girl. This is for you.
Yeah, man.
No more like wasting time being miserable. You get comfort in being miserable, but you got to break out of that because it's so easy to choose the other direction, you know?
Okay.
All right, listen to the Adult Chair. I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
All right, honey. Good luck with everything. Thanks for talking to us.
And is this Annie and Ian both?
Yeah.
I recognized Ian's voice from TV.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Oh, somebody who has TV.
You,
all right, that's good. It's a rare thing these days. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care, girl.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye.
That was some good ass advice, Annie. Impressed.
You too.
I mean, it's good shit.
It's hard. That was a scary one.
Yeah, that was tough.
That's a serious.
Like,
but you just can't. I have a my mom's best friend. This is so embarrassing. This is on camera. Me not being able to get my things on. Guys, stop. Everybody chill. But my mom, one of her friends from growing up, her daughter she was like such a cute girl, and she just started getting troubled, like she had some mental stuff, and then she ended up getting into drugs and like prostituting, and she just lost her. Like she thinks she's like might be dead, or she's just like and she was saying to my dad that, because my dad was like, well, there's still hope, and she's like, nah, that's like, I had to kill the hope.
Yeah.
The hope is what killed me every morning, you know? And she's like, I had to just like, this is just the new chapter of my life. Yeah. And I can't control that, so.
Yeah, 100%.
It is. This is a comedy podcast, and everyone's cool. But, I can relate to that feeling of just like, you wake up miserable, but you just can't let yourself.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, man. That's like Green Beret emotional training right there. That's that. That's that. Those Navy SEAL emotions and shit. It's
hard. But if you don't acknowledge that, because I feel like people you wallow in it or whatever. But if you don't acknowledge it, then it's like repressed and you're crazy. Right. Like I don't know how guys survive. I mean, this is why there's any sort of shootings anywhere. It's because you guys aren't allowed to cry or fucking emote.
Right.
I mean, it's like. It's rough to repress it all. Anyway, can we do something funny now? It's up to me. This is my show.
This is your show.
I mean, that was kind of funny.
It was funny. I liked how you immediately told her that it was her signal.
Her signal?
Yeah. I do get scared I don't want to be too disrespectful to these people, but that is the funny part, is going to be making fun of people's problems.
They know what they're getting into.
And they know what they're getting into, and it's like...
She called with the most serious problem to probably the most unqualified people.
Yeah, what the... I mean, if I hadn't been listening to that podcast, I would have had nothing to say.
Exactly. I mean, no wonder her daughter's not talking to her.
Do you come to her with these sort of topics?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right, Brenton, is there anything else? Well,
there
how long
anything
are
else
we?
you wanna
How long
talk-
have we been?
We're at 54 minutes.
Oh, 54.
Oh,
Should we
yeah.
do 6 more minutes of
Yeah,
something?
why not?
6 more minutes.
Do you want to do another topic, or Ian? Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything fucked up from your?
Anything fucked up?
Is there
You mean
anything that
besides
you?
drinking and having to quit at 7?
There's nothing funnier than that. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I had to live it to, make the jokes.
We used to do. I used to like fuck up Manischewitz at bat mitzvahs.
Amanda Shevitz, hilarious.
I would be like chugging. It's the most disgusting taste.
Mhm.
So bad.
I just wanted to be an adult. I wanted to smoke cigarettes. I wanted
Yeah.
to drink. I wanted to do anything like I saw in a James Bond movie.
Yeah,
I
me
just
too.
wanted to just be an adult. I used to eat those candy cigarettes
Oh yeah.
and like hold them
yeah.
when I was a kid and just
Yeah, me
chew
too. I
them.
loved those.
Yeah.
Do you remember the ones that were the? Did you have the gum ones or the ones that were like the
They're like kind of chewy inside. Maybe they have something.
the white
red in
ones with like
middle,
the little
like-
red thing on the
Yeah,
end? Yeah,
yeah.
I used to get those at the, out of the ice cream truck.
That's fucked up that they sold those to kids
It's the most
because it
fucked up.
leads. That talk about a gateway to nicotine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like.
Did you smoke cigarettes?
No, I wanted to, but for some reason, I don't know why. I can't explain it. I just didn't. Like when I had the opportunity to do it.
Oh my god, I smoked crazy. It was
Right.
so cool. I had this next door neighbor that I had a huge crush on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was so hot. He moved in when I was 11, and I was like, "Hello, who's this
How
hottie?"
old was he?
Like, just 3 months older than me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like another grown
Matt Hitchcock.
murderer. you
I'm
had a
saying
crush
full
on.
names. He's still my friend.
Mhm.
But I just was upset. I thought he was so hot. And we
Mhm.
would sneak out when we were like 13. We would make out in our neighbor's hammock. And then we would sneak out in the middle of the night.
Right.
And we would meet up at the park. I had this park behind my house at the TW Park. And we would be in all black, like we were hiding.
Uh-huh.
And we would smoke cigarettes I stole from my brother. And we would make out. And it's like, so cigarettes are like the coolest.
Right. It has your memories of cigarettes
Oh
or
my
your
God. We're
like
sitting-
making out in the park.
Sitting on my roof. I had a roof outside my window. I would smoke and look at the stars. And I would like write poetry and smoke cigarettes. And then my high school had a smoking corps and I would smoke cigarettes. It just was like the coolest.
You're such an adult kid.
It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was definitely, I don't know if I was over sexualized because of like being molested and stuff, or if I just was like, got my period before other people. I was like, had such crushes on boys. Like,
Uh-huh.
I can't, I'm going to look out for with my nieces to see what age they start to have crushes and stuff. But I mean, I had like big crushes, and I ran into this girl at the mall that I used to go to. I was friends with in middle school, and she went, "Oh my God, I was just talking about you to my mom. She was saying how crazy you were." And I went, "Crazy how?"
Right.
I was like, "Fucking bitch, what kind of crazy?" And she went, "Boy crazy." My mom
Oh.
said she was afraid to have you hang out because you were so boy crazy.
Hilarious. How old are you when you were molested?
Well, I think I have like weird memories about my mom's coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Husband when I was around 4. I remember him chasing me
Oh,
into my
damn.
dad's closet and stuff. But I don't have, that's like weird foggy memories, so I don't know.
Right.
But then I had stuff happen in high school and
Oh, okay.
and in college, so it's not like confirmed. So whatever. I probably just got tickled on the inside. You know when they tickle you and it's inside you. But again, I don't change anything. I always
You know when they think your vagina is an armpit? When they're
yeah,
tickling
when they're like, "Oh, look at your armpit," and then you're like, "I'm a squirter. I'm so young." That's disgusting, Ian. How dare you?
I think you finished it.
No, he finished me off. Anyway, come on, you guys. I was a
And then
child.
she says, "Come on."
And then he came on me, guys. I was a kid.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just always remember feeling so
Sexual.
just weird with it. I didn't feel sexual when I was like a kid. I felt like weird about attention. I got a lot of weird attention, like inappropriate attention, and I hated that. And then, but I had crushes on boys. It wasn't like I wanted to fuck them. I mean, I think I probably had like weird, down there.
You had
feelings.
desires. Feelings.
And it could have just been like emotional, like love neglect when I was a kid or something, and I was looking for that in other people. But it was just very early before everyone else. I just like couldn't wait to have a boyfriend and be older. It was kind of like what you were saying. I wanted to be a grown up, and now I'm like, why did I want to be this? I mean, I like it now, but this is probably the first year I like being a grown up.
Oh yeah, you have changed, but for the good. Like when we talk in the hallway and you tell me like where you are mentally. It's like amazing and great to hear.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
man. I had a shift. It was
And
that
it's-
Papa
and-
Roach
and-
concert.
And it's real. It's a Papa Roach bombing on a cruise.
You bomb on a cruise. No, I went to that Papa Roach concert by myself when they were in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
I went and saw them. It was right after Kevin Burnett had died,
Mm-hmm.
and it was right before Brody died. And I was by myself. They gave me backstage passes. I went and hung out with them. I was at the Roxy for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of feeling the music. I never see live music, and I started listening to the lyrics and stuff, and I was like, okay, Papa Roach. I do cut myself open just to feel. All right. and Jacoby, the lead singer, did a couple things that kind of moved me in a weird way. But he went to the audience. He went like, "We love you," and he drew a heart with his fingers. And I kind of went like, oh shit. I don't approach my audience like that. I approach them like they're against me for some reason. Like I'm coming out like, fuck you
Combative.
guys. Yeah, for no reason. Did you ever have anything like that?
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, like I don't use the term kill or bomb. It's like anymore. It's like those words were ingrained in our heads when we were like young comics. You kill, you bomb. It's like such war terms.
Yeah.
And then it in your mind psychologically it puts you against the audience.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to kill this audience. You don't want to bomb. That means you got bombed. And just all these terms for a thing that's supposed to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And so psychologically, like you see comics pacing backstage and shadow boxing, and getting more ready for war than somebody who's going to war.
Yeah.
And it's like we should be having fun back there and having fun on stage and having fun afterwards.
Yeah, it should
You know
be
what I mean?
seamless almost because
Yeah.
it is when it's good. It's like building a community with these people. That's why good crowd work kills so much. I feel like, or
Yeah.
don't say kill, does so well because they're with you on it, or
Right.
like the jokes that they finish in their heads.
Right.
You know, where you're like, it just feels like such a group effort. It feels so good because we do need each other in those situations. And I always try to remember what it's like to be an audience member. Having when you haven't done comedy, because a lot of people want to do comedy that are in the audience too,
Yeah, I
and
never
they're
think
looking at
about
it
that.
in
That's
a weird
cool.
way, and they're nervous. They don't want you to be. They can sense if you're nervous. Like if you're doing a new joke and you're not sure if it's gonna work, and you're, they will take up that energy. They don't want you to do bad.
Right.
Nobody wants the comic to bomb.
Right.
Nobody wants that. That doesn't feel good. It's like so uncomfortable, and then you're fake laughing.
Except your
or
enemies
whatever.
in the back. But
Yeah,
yeah.
there are a few. Yeah, the fucking comics in the back.
But I stopped using, like when people are like, kill out there. I'm like, I'm just gonna have fun.
Yeah, and crush is kind
Yeah,
of negative
yeah.
too.
I'm just gonna have fun.
I destroyed.
Yeah. It's
I
all these
destroyed.
I destroyed. Yeah.
Called the ambulance. I just killed. It's so pathetic. It is the wrong. It really is negative. But so that kind of switched my point of view. Just watching him
dope.
do that, and I was like, oh, I should be loving the audience. And for months, when I would start to get negative, to break it, I would actually do the heart thing, and people probably thought I was insane, and the audience. But I would just be like, I love you. Like just remember that, because you need the love for yourself and for the audience. And then another thing that happened during the Papa Roach concert is, they went like, LA, we love you. We came here 20 years ago and all we got were no's. But the work starts at no. It's like this cliche thing or whatever. But I was like, whoa, I was like sad about I don't know. I was just like really open.
Right.
And it ended up, what I was thinking about was I didn't really get a lot of no's.
Right.
I've just said no to myself. I've had a pretty easy, and I've said this on other ones, I do think being a girl in comedy is, you do get an advantage because you get more attention on you.
Right.
And I do think I worked hard. I don't want to discount myself, but I got Montreal like 2.5 years in. I got past the Comedy Store the first time I auditioned. I've had people, a lot of the times I've been annoyed with my representatives and stuff like that. It's just been them being like, can you just just take the opportunities.
Right.
And it's just, I realized that it was just me saying no to myself. And then I just shifted it, and I was like, I'm going to get out of my way. And so Papa Roach changed
man.
my fucking
Greatest
life.
band ever.
The best band ever. And anyone that talks shit, come fucking fight me. They're the best. They're really nice guys too. They're really cool. And they're
That's
all
cool.
hot.
God bless them.
They're all hot and cool. And then I was talking to Brody about it. I got to talk to Brody about it. I was
word.
like, my positive shift. And I was like, oh, started listening to affirmations and stuff. And I was so excited. I got to do his podcast here and talk to him about it because he was kind of my positivity mentor, even though we knew it was coming from a place of him trying really hard to stay positive.
Right.
And so that was good. And then the last time I talked to him, we were just talking about, because I could just see like he had gotten he was getting dark.
It was getting dark.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the weird, like, looking back, I'm just like, just saw it coming. Anyway, if you thought Lynn was depressing, let's talk about our dead friend that everybody loved and misses. Ian, it was so good to have you on.
Oh, my pleasure.
This was great.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite episode.
Yeah, you hear that, everybody?
That was
Who
good.
came
Also,
before and
you
coming
heard how
after?
Lynn heard him from TV. Remember
Yeah.
that? And then, Ian, where can people see your special?
Now, this is tougher than solving Lynn's problem. Accessing this special. Go to comedycentral.com. There's actually a link. There's actually a link to it on my Instagram, in my bio. And then you'll click on it, and it's right there. But you need a cable provider. But if you don't have a cable provider, you can get a 24-hour pass, and you could watch it. So just
my
fill in
God.
the information. And it's a 24-hour pass. Watch the special, whatever else is there.
It sounds
It's at
terrible and hard, but it's
comedycentral.com.
easy.
But it's easy. Some people don't see that you can just sign in for a 24-hour pass when they see the list of providers that they don't have. But yeah, it's there.
And would you want someone to rip it and put it on YouTube? How do you feel about it? Do you want to do it
I want people to see it.
Yeah, so you don't care how it happens.
I didn't say that, but
Right.
I want people to see it.
Right. Okay. I don't know how to do that. And I don't know if any of you guys know how to do that.
Yeah.
But definitely don't do that. And when I say don't, I don't mean don't. Do you know what I mean? Don't do that for Ian.
Yeah.
Also, I need a theme song for my show.
Mm-hmm.
Please, can someone, I know you guys are talented, just use your talents to just send me a fucking theme song. Also, if you want to send presents for the wall, some toys or something I can tape up to this wall, send them to the Comedy Store. The address is
8433 West Sunset Boulevard, City of West Hollywood, 90069.
He finishes my sentences. I love this man.
He completes you.
Thank you, Brenton.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Ian, for coming. I will be at the Blue Room. This might be airing afterwards, but I'll be at the Blue Room in Missouri, weekend of August 17th, 16th and 17th. And then I will be at Go Bananas October 17th, that weekend too. And Ian, if you have any dates.
Yeah, go to ianedwardscomedian.com, and my dates are there.
Yeah, and my new website's going to be up too, annieletterman.com. Boom, bitches. Thank you so much. Yay.